What up, students? Here's part 2 of this video. So remember, you can either use a purple puzzle piece, which is right here, or at the top of your computer up here somewhere, to get this done, or follow along with me as we go through this. So we're going to read and annotate and answer the following questions. The question we want to answer is, are all cells the exact same type of cell? First, let's read about prokaryotic versus eukaryotic cells. These are two types of cells you're going to read about below. Cells come in an amazing variety of shapes and sizes. Despite their differences, all cells contain DNA, the part that carries the cell's instructions. In addition, all cells are surrounded by a thin barrier called a cell membrane, which is like a security guard that lets things in and out of the cell. Finally, all cells have a small structure called ribosomes that make all the proteins in the cell. So let's go back and highlight a few things here. So we said all cells contain DNA. All cells have a cell membrane, which is like a security guard. And all cells have ribosomes that make proteins. So all cells have those three parts, even though there's different cells. Like your bones are different cells, and your heart and your eyes, versus a bacteria is a different cell, but they all have those three things. So question number 1, what are 3 things that all cells have in common? We just read about it. We just highlighted it. DNA, cell membrane, and ribosomes. Now let's read this question first before we do this reading here. It says, complete the table below about eukaryotes and prokaryotes by placing a check mark in the columns if the cell contains that. Contains that part. Use the picture below to help. So we're going to use this picture below and this reading here to help us complete this table right here. Cells fall into 2 groups. They either have a nucleus or do not have a nucleus. The nucleus is a large structure that contains DNA and controls many of the cell's activities. Eukaryotes are cells that have DNA in the nucleus. Prokaryotes do not have DNA in the nucleus. So they do have nucleus or do not? Let's go back and highlight some of these things here. So eukaryotes have DNA in the nucleus. That's a weird word to say. And then we know that prokaryotes do not have DNA in the nucleus. So again, complete the table below using check marks. You can use a picture to help you. So eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Eukaryotes, does it have DNA? So let's go down to here. Let's see, DNA, yep. DNA, yes. So eukaryotes have DNA. Does the prokaryote have DNA? Yep, sure does. Cell membrane. Prokaryotic cell, it has a cell membrane. Eukaryotic cell, yep, cell membrane, they both have a cell membrane. Ribosomes. Now, although it's not in the picture here, we did read above that all cells have ribosomes. So check there. And then that's nucleus. Does a prokaryotic cell have a nucleus? Nope. Eukaryotic cells? Yep, they sure do. Next section. Let's read the question first before we do the reading. Question 3, how could I identify a prokaryotic cell? And then what types of living things are prokaryotic cells? So how can we know what they are, and what types of things are they? Prokaryotic cells are smaller and simpler. Prokaryotic cells do not have DNA in a nucleus. So there is no nucleus. No nucleus. Although they are simple, prokaryotes are still living cells. They grow, they reproduce, and they respond to the environment. And in some cases, they glide along surfaces or swim through liquids. The organisms we call bacteria are prokaryotic cells. So bacteria is a prokaryote. So how can I identify them? Well, what don't they have? There's no nucleus, and they are small. And what type of living thing is a prokaryotic cell? Bacteria are prokaryotic cells. Now, eukaryotic, this is the last two questions here. Question 5, let's read before we do the questions. Are all eukaryotic living things multicellular, made of many cells? So are all these types of cells, like plants and animals, are they all made of billions of cells or just one cell? Let's figure that out. Eukaryotic cells are larger and more complex than prokaryotic cells. Most eukaryotic cells contain a lot of structures, and many are highly specialized. In eukaryotic cells, the nucleus separates the DNA from the rest of the cell. There are many types of eukaryotic cells. Some, like the ones called protists, live alone as unicellular or one-celled organisms. Others form large, multicellular, many-celled organisms like plants, animals, and fungus. Interesting. So, we saw that there are many types. Some are one-celled called protists, and others are multicellular, like plants, animals, and fungus. And we're animals too. So question 5, are all eukaryotic living things multicellulars? So this type of cell, are they all many cells, or can some of them be one-celled? Back in your reading for that answer. And then why? Question 6, are humans prokaryotes or are we eukaryotes? Well, if you look back in this answer here, many cells, are we one-celled or are we many cells? We are many cells. Why? Have any questions? Let us know. Or otherwise, I'll see you on Monday for a video chat.